Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you for joining me again today for some love and light in the form of sound. And I'd like to share with you the story of how I chose recovery and transition as the topic this week, because I've expressed before how I feel that everything in our experience is a reflection of what we're holding within. And this story is a very powerful reflection of that. So a couple of weeks ago probably, a friend was visiting and he and I were talking, and he was sharing some physical challenges that he's going through, and I was looking for what the emotional connection may be there for him, because I know that our physical body shows us what's going on in our beliefs and our emotions, and it's an invitation for us to look at what's out of alignment. So when we start to feel sick, it's because something within our belief system is out of alignment with what our highest purpose is. And so our bodies will show us that. So for example, often now, if I'm doing something or saying something, I'll just get this queasy feeling in my stomach, and I know that I'm out of alignment with my truth for whatever I'm saying or doing. And so then I just take the opportunity to go in and see what wants to move through me, see where the misalignment is. And so I was having this conversation with my friend, and I looked out the window, and where I live, I'm in the trees. There's lots of wildlife here. There's an owl that lives in the trees just in front of the house. A bear walked by my door one day recently, which was so exciting. And there are lots of deer. And so I looked out the window, and across the street, I saw a deer, a young buck. He had his antlers starting to grow, and it was limping. It looked like it was limping. And when I looked closer, it had a severe injury to one leg. And I just felt very sad, because in the natural world, chances are you're not going to survive very long if you're a deer and you're limping. And I was exploring what that could mean for us and what that was signifying with the conversation that we were having, and really didn't think I'd see the deer again. And then just a few days ago, so probably 2 weeks after that event, I saw the deer again, and I was so happy. I was rejoicing. And then I found myself thinking about recovery and giving a lot of thought about recovery, and using the word recovery in a conversation that I was having with a friend later that day. And I started to feel like, well, I should be thinking differently or choosing different words. I should be bringing through something more positive. And then I realized, no, wait a minute, maybe I just need to go into this and just look at where I'm in recovery and where we are in recovery. And what I realized is that I feel like all of us are in recovery from this 3D paradigm that we've been living, and from the patriarchy that we've been living in. It's been a tough slog to be living in this density, and also with the imbalance of the patriarchy and how there's not been heart wisdom and love wisdom in our lives. And so we are all wounded in some way. We are all injured by the patriarchy. And, even people, there's a lot of healing happening, or attempting to happen, at least with First Nations people here in Canada and around the world, and honoring the Indigenous and coming back to the great wisdom that they hold. And they've certainly been deeply injured by the patriarchy, but so have we. So has the white person been injured. We've created lifestyles for ourselves that were very challenging and difficult. And so the patriarchy has us all in recovery. That was the big realization, is that this old paradigm, as it's starting to fall away, some of us are still in the turmoil of that falling away and seeing what's happening in the outside world, and moving into fear around that. Some of us who are doing the internal work and who realize that what we're seeing in the world is the rebalancing, and in order for a new system to come into manifestation, the old system has to crumble and fall away, and that's what we're seeing, is the old system crumbling. And what comes in its place, I believe, is the creation of each one of us as we awaken and we move into understanding that we are the masters of our creation, that we are creating through our belief system, and we clear the density, we clear the old paradigm out of ourselves, we clear all our childhood survival patterns that are no longer serving us, and we clear all the programs that have been placed upon us. And then we can shine through all of that and then come into this period of recovery. And I thought, what do we do for people when they're in recovery? We care for them, we nurture them, we look after them, we don't expect too much from them, we allow them time to recuperate and recover. And I feel that that's important for us to realize, that we need to be gentle with ourselves this way as we're moving out of and through this old paradigm and into the stage of recovery. So it's an invitation for us all to be very gentle and loving to ourselves. If you have someone else who's nurturing and caring for you, that's wonderful, and make sure you offer it back in return. And if there's nobody there, if you're on your own, then do it for yourself. Be sure to be very gentle and kind, and don't feel like you have to push yourself as hard as you have in the past, perhaps. We can really get caught up in feeling like we always need to be doing and not giving ourselves the time of stillness. And there's a saying I've heard a few times lately, slow down to speed up. And I feel that's really true. The more we slow down and allow ourselves to integrate everything that is happening and has been happening, and allow ourselves this pampering to just recover from even the energy, all the energy that's coming to the planet right now. It requires recovery just to be able to integrate it all, because our bodies are going through so much integrating all this higher frequency that's on the earth right now. And you can check the Schumann resonance of the earth. It's just incredible how much higher the frequency of the earth is now than it had been stable for so many years at 7.8 hertz or 7.3, I forget which exactly. And it's peaking to in the 50s, in the hundreds. So there's so much happening on the earth right now that this recovery is really an important stage for us to move into the next step of stepping into being a more master of our own lives, and this stage of creating the new earth that we want to be living in. We do this beginning with ourselves and creating a better life for ourselves, and then that extends out into the world. So I'm going to bring through light language today for this process of recovery and transition, see what the ancient ones bring through in the light language, and then perhaps there will be a channeling on the other end from them. I'm curious for their insights into this idea of recovery, and also how the outside world is showing us what's happening on the inside. This deer was unstable. It didn't really have all its legs under it. It was wobbly. And I think so many of us are feeling the wobble right now as we're doing all this work of transition. So let's check in with the ancient ones, see what they have to bring forward for us. So just be still and really be present with the sound of the light language. It's speaking to yourselves in a way that your mind doesn't need to understand, it can't understand, and that's a good thing, because it's time for us to be coming from the heart and not the mind. The mind was never meant to be the one that was leading the way in our lives, and so just allow yourself to be present and really feel this, and you can add your intention that this sound touch every cell of your body if that feels in alignment for you to do that, or maybe listen to it and see how it feels, and then if it feels right, go back and listen again with the intention that you allow the sounds to fully resonate through your being so that you receive the benefit of this light language. Okay. Each kana I maka atlawa each kana I kala atwa I akna tikata atwa I uktaka hawa ke la nachka I makta kakala each kana I uwakta ki akla a miktakai uch kana I wala each kana I Ooh-la, ooh, Iana mitakai ikala atwa ikana. Otakalawa ichkana atwa ikana. Utake ichkana atmia. Imla atwa ikana. Utakaha ichkana amala atwa e. Uwaktaki imaka kala achkani imakai. Imakai o alawa achkana iaka. Mikaha achkana I akma ikana atwa e. Ukataha iala a ichkana atwa ikana. Imaka atwa e ichkana o. Imakai ano ikana wachikai ikla alawa e ina. So I'll just share what I'm receiving so far. First, the toning was just opening the field, expanding your field to receive this. And then the message was that we each have a role to play. If you're listening to this video, then you have an important role to play in the evolution of this planet, and to stepping into your own mastery and to clearing all your old patterns. Really be present with your own patterns. Be present with your body when it tells you something's out of alignment. Take the time to clear and process the old paradigm out of your internal system, because the world needs us all right now. And the more of us who are doing this work and being present and starting with ourselves, begin within, and then you really have a clear vessel to contribute to the world with your love. And so they're just expressing the importance of each one of us, each person who's listening, to bring your beautiful light into the world. Ikai ichkana atwa e miktakahawa ilakna ichkana a. Utakaha ichkai o ela ichka. Miktakahawa e ichkana ai. Ola ichkana matakahiakai o kana a. Matakahi kanachkai. Mikalaho I kana a. Mataka ichkana ikwa eila. Eila I natakai oaktakai kanai. So they're saying so many people wonder, what can I do? How can I make a difference? And they're saying you are the difference. You don't have to figure out what to do. You just have to do the internal work to make sure that you're the loving light that you're meant to be. So it's all about falling in love with yourself, to be honest. The beginning of this is really coming back to love, and all love begins within the self. Whenever you have any judgment in the outside world, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're judging somebody's sweater, you're judging the weather, it doesn't matter what it is. The judgment begins within. And I'm saying this only so you can have a radar, you can have a way of knowing where you are. Every time you judge someone else, say, okay, what am I really judging within myself? And just contemplate that, and just get quiet and let yourself see that. Because it can often be hard to find what it is that is keeping us from that love, or to recognize where we're not in love. Sometimes we think we are. but there's still judgment, which is not a loving viewpoint in the world. And you can also check my mirror effect video that explains this more fully. So I'll just go back to the ancient ones. Iklaha ichkana atma e ikna a ichtaka atle. Ioklaha ichkana a ikna. So they're clearing as we're going. Maktalawa ichkana a ikana. Clearing away that piece about thinking we don't know what to do. Ikahai okana miktakai ikla atwa e ichkana. Ikla atwa e ichkana I. O ika ikama atwa e ikana. Imaktaka a ila ichkana. Ikalawa e ichkana. And they're saying now that we're in recovery until we're not. So we'll know when we're on the other side of it. We'll know when we're to the place where we've done the internal work, we've gone inside, and it's time for us to be sharing our light more fully in the world. And you're doing it all the time anyway, so to know that. But if it's time for it to be expressed more fully or in a different way, we'll know when that time is. And to just be gentle with ourselves in every step of the way. Ika ichkana ama alawai, inaka atwa ikna I, utaka halawa I ichkana a. I'm going to ask them now to speak to us of recovery and transition. And so it is, beloveds, it is our joy and delight to come before you, for we see before us the kings and queens of this beautiful planet, of this species that you call human. We see the ones who are ready to step into their own royalty. And we say to you, beloveds, this is not a judgment against anyone else. This is not putting you above anyone else. This is about you stepping into the truth of who you are, stepping into your divinity, for you are the divine. Thinking of yourself as anything less than kings and queens is the mistake of the human existence to this point. It has been placed upon you not to recognize the divinity that is within you. And so we invite you to come back to that. Step into your regal being. Step into the truth of the essence of divinity and love that you are. Allow yourself to see it within you. And we expressed ourselves this way because we know that as many of you hear these words, there are bells going off all over the place. What do you mean divinity? What do you mean royalty? What do you mean kings and queens? I am not that. I am not going to call myself that. I am not going to place myself above others. And this, beloveds, is part of the old programming that is needing to fall away. This is part of the old program that has you playing small, that has you playing down who you are, that has you feeling insignificant, so you won't push the boundaries, so you won't protest against the suppression that has been the patriarchy on this earth. Can you see how it has held you back, how it has held you down? It's time to step over that. Just stand up tall, stand into your divinity, and lift your big, tall leg up over that programming and say, done, no more. I am here to walk into the divinity that I am. I am here to express the divinity that I am. I am here to know who I am and to stand strong in that knowing in every moment so that I can be part of the new paradigm. I can be part of the new earth, the new age. I can be part of the age of wisdom, the wisdom of the heart, as the masculine and feminine come back into balance. There you have the wisdom of moving from heart intelligence as you create this new world. It is happening everywhere. It is happening around the world as people step into this knowing. The knowing that it's time to simplify. The knowing that it's time to come back home, home to the self. And when you come back home to the self, there is no longer the desire for all the distractions because you're not running away anymore. The distractions are running away, beloved, running, avoiding all the pain, the suffering, the hurt on the inside. As you clear away all that debris, you come to realize that inside is the truth of the divine. Inside each one of you is the greatest love that ever existed. And as this one is moved so deeply by these words, we want you to know that it is because she feels this love as she speaks these words. And she feels the truth of what's being expressed, that it is time for you to be the master that you are. She has many videos to support you in that. She has developed her own profound healing technique that can help you with that. And there are many, many techniques and supports. Find them, beloveds, find them. Do the work that's needed so that you can release all of the past and find your way back home once again. And we are inviting her now, as we are speaking to her, to share at the end of this video a beautiful love note that she created many years ago that will help you understand more of what we are speaking of. And so, dear precious souls, every being who is watching this video at whatever moment in time you are watching, we want you to know that you are a blessed, sacred light upon this earth. Gaia needs your love. You need your love. Don't let others tell you any longer who you are. Don't let others program you with their belief systems. It's not yours. You are each unique. You each come with your own wisdom. You each come with your own internal knowing of what your truth is. Don't let anyone else tell you your truth. And even in this session, this video, if it doesn't feel like truth to you, dismiss it and let it go. And if it feels like truth, know that it's reflecting for you the divinity that you are. If it resonates with you, it's because it's your light that you are seeing in these words, in this transmission. And so, dear ones, we say to you, just as this one spoke in the beginning, remember that you are in recovery. Be kind and gentle with yourself always. And be kind and gentle with those who appear to be lost on the path, whose lives appear to be disintegrating and falling apart. Be kind and gentle with them. It is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to get lost in their apparent suffering. It is your job to heal right here. Then you can truly be of service. That deer that this one saw that was limping so severely could not rescue another deer when it was in harm because it is wounded. It is only when you have healed those internal wounds that you can then be fully of service to others. Begin within, beloveds. It's not selfish. You must be self-full, and then what you offer to the world is pure, radiant light. And not to say that you are not already that, for indeed you are. But if it is hidden by the debris of the past, then it's hard for others to see that light. It is in clearing all that debris of the past that your light shines brighter and brighter into the world, and therefore has a further expression in the world. And so we will leave it with that, beloveds, and with deep gratitude for this opportunity to be before you this day, to transmit our energies to you as this one is expressing our words and our love. May it touch the wisdom of your soul and the true gentle spirit of your heart. And so it is. And so it is. Okay, I will share that love note, and thank you again for being present and hearing these words and allowing them to touch you and move into you. And I invite you to listen to the light language often if it resonates with you. And thank you, beloveds, for being on this journey with me. It's a time of so much difference, and it's becoming very exciting for me to see what we are creating together as the old falls away. So I leave you in love.